Courtney, just offensively, there's just been, we've seen a lot of turnovers here in these last two games. It's 20 plus against Indiana, 24 today. What are things that you guys can do, especially in the guard group, to help limit those turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are just dumb plays. So, I think offensively we haven't really found our groove yet, and I think we're a little out of rhythm. We're trying to make plays, just making the wrong play. I think it comes with time. We got to work on our chemistry offensively. When we get things moving, things going, I think the turnovers will drop. On the flip side, we turned that team over 19 times, and they've kind of been together for a while. So it's part of it being early in the season, trying to kind of figuring it out. But yeah, that's a big difference in the game. 27 points off the turnovers. We cleaned that up. This is a different game.
Rebecca, you've kind of been a contributor off the bench here these last two games. Statistically, it may not show it, but there are things that you're doing off the stat sheet. When you come off the bench, what are things that you're wanting to contribute to the game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to be assertive as well when I'm coming into the game. Defensively, I want to be disruptive. There's parts of my game that I'm really trying to build on too, but sometimes it is just coming out there and maybe it's moving the ball quickly. Sometimes it's the little things like that and boxing out, going in for the rebounds. So I'm trying to do the little effort plays as well, but I also just want to be a good energy for everyone because we need to really, lift each other up in this moment for sure.
We'll go second row on your left.
Courtney, how do you see you being able to use your role on the team as a leader and a veteran to help send a message after these back-to-back losses to get the team back on track?
Well, it's still early. Obviously we have a lot to work on, a lot to improve, but we're going to figure it out. I think we're all committed to that. We're not going to let two losses in a really good league stop us from what the path that we're choosing. And, we're going to put it together. We're going to keep grinding it out. We're going to watch film, figure out, learn from our mistakes, and just keep it moving. I mean, we didn't think that it was going to come all perfect together in the first two games, So we're not panicking. I think we're still in a really good place mentally, knowing that we have a good group. We just got to, make some adjustments and figure some things out.
We'll go front row on your right. Alyssa.
Hey, guys. Can you share a little bit about what the game plan was defensively and how you think you guys executed?
Sure. Well, they obviously shot the ball really well. That was not part of the game plan. But when a team gets hot like that, it makes it difficult. We wanted to, obviously not let Sabrina have walk-in threes. We didn't want JJ to be able to dominate the paint. They scored 74 points. They scored 99. We scored 74. That's a lot of points. But, when they're shooting 55% from the three, that's, we got to do better at defending the three-point line and making adjustments, too. I think we let Cloud get going a little bit later. That was something that we didn't adjust to well. But, the same thing. We got to watch film and kind of figure it out. We're going to see them again, and we'll have a different plan and we'll execute it better.
Any more for players? Back row.
Did you see anything different?
I feel like she really, summed it up.
We'll go to Nancy, back row, your right.
So, back here. Sorry.
Hi.
I know you guys aren't into moral victories, but the fact that you continued to play hard until the game ended, is that something you guys can build off of, that you were willing to stick with it?
Yeah, I think we made it a point to say that these kind of things carry over. At some point in the fourth quarter, we kind of knew we're not going to win the game, but we want to continue to. I think that's why Tyler left his starters in early. He wanted to see us kind of work together, or late. He wanted to see us kind of work together, work through some things as a group. Because this stuff carry over. Pretty soon we're going to have game after game. I think right now we hit a really big stretch in all these, games, and we're not going to have a lot of practice time. So, we got to focus on making in-game adjustments and, kind of learning as we go.
We'll go to Chris, front row on your left.
Hey, Courtney, what are some of the biggest challenges when it comes to spacing the floor, especially in this game with a team like Liberty that have so many big posts that can play outside too, but also how do you kind of correct that and help spacing?
Defensively, you mean?
Offensively.
Oh. That's something that we spend a lot of time on. We're trying to figure out spacing and how we can put our post players, especially in situations that benefit both of them, and we haven't figured it out yet, but I think also we knocked down some shots a little bit better today, so that's going to help our spacing moving forward. I think last game we, struggled from the three. When you're not hitting shots, the space of the court starts to shrink a lot. But I think getting in transition opens things up too. We got to get some penetration paint touches into to open catch and shoot threes. Those type of things will start to open up the spacing.
Second row on your left.
Yeah, Rebecca. Obviously, new team, new role. Could you talk a little bit about what the mindset is like coming off the bench versus starting a game and how that's different for you?
Yeah, for me, I don't think it matters if I start or if I come off the bench. My thing is to have an impact and also to figure out, okay, what does the team need in any moment? Right now, I'm trying to get to the rim just to provide that sort of attacking. I also really want to rely on my three-point shot as well, and I know that's going to come too, but I need to have that impact defensively with my length and utilize that a bit more too. So obviously, I'm a work in progress as well at the moment, but I'm just trying to have that impact on both ends.
Any more for players? Thank you, players. We'll open up for questions for Coach. We'll start with Carly Bell, front row.
Coach, just the turnovers these last two games. It's been 20 plus and then giving up 27 points off 24 turnovers today. I know film will show a lot, but what are you seeing that is kind of the leading cause as to why there's been so many turnovers these last two games?
Yeah, I think it's been a kind of a plethora of different things. I think that we just got to be strong with the ball. I think that sometimes our spacing can kind of create a crowd a little bit, and so we're not creating as much space as we like to be able to deliver passes clean. But, yeah, it's been a couple of things.
And then the assist ratio that we've just seen, you started out, in training camp, there was assisting on almost 60-70% of the field goal attempts. It's kind of been low, especially today. How can you get that ball moving around and create those opportunities so that assist number gets up and you're able to get some spacing and ball movement?
Yeah, I think our offense is built around pace and spacing, and so when the ball is moving, when our bodies are moving, when we're cutting, when we're able to create space and driving lanes, that's what opens up those drive and kick threes. And I think that at times, we generate those, and it's just a matter of knocking them down here and there. And then other times that we get a little stagnant and again playing crowds a little bit too much at times. So we'll get back to work. We'll correct those things. We shot the ball decent from three tonight, but our efficiency in the paint wasn't that great. And again, it's you have nights like that scoring the ball, and unfortunately we've had back-to-back nights with that. But we just got to stay to it. And we had 16 assists on 25 made field goals, and so we're getting some good looks. We just need more of them.
We'll go Jason, front row on your right, and then Andy.
Tyler, to your right, when you talk about the inefficiency in the paint, Angel kept getting the ball down there off rebounds or passes, and it just seemed like it would get stripped or blocked. What did you see that was preventing her from getting in the flow of the offense today?
I think it was just some of them were just rushed. That was really it. I think it was just rushed. But Angel knows that we have confidence in her, just like Camilla, and any of our guards that penetrate into the paint and get looks at the rim. Like we have constant belief and confidence in all of our players to be able to make those, and now it's just a matter of doing it. But yeah, it's not going to be often that we have a ton of nights like this.
And the foul call that preceded the technical foul, it looked like you were arguing with that as well. Did you see it differently, or did you think it was more based on the reaction from New York's bench?
I think I just fight for my players, and I'll just leave it at that.
We'll go to Andy, back row on your left.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned before the game, looking back at the Fever game, that you guys had a lot of good looks. They just weren't necessarily falling. Would you kind of categorize what happened today as a similar thing? That you like the looks that your team got?
At times, but I think, again, the turnovers are still a thing that kind of is a thorn in our side. And, it's the second straight game that we've had more possessions than our opponent, but we come out on the bottom end. And so, the possessions, the amount of possessions is good, but at the same time, we got to be able to convert. And so we'll take a look and see how we can be more efficient from that standpoint, but we got to take care of the ball first.
We'll go Kaylin, second row on your left, or on your right, and then Naomi, and then Katie on your right.
Coach, when you guys came out in the third quarter, you went on that 8-1 run, and they were playing like the team and the system that you want them to play. What were those adjustments you made at halftime in that period, and how does your team sort of come out the gate with that energy in the future?
Yeah, I think it was just the messaging at halftime was just kind of taking it to them, like playing with force and getting downhill and kind of dictating our pace and our will as opposed to the reverse. And I think that more often than not in this game, New York imposed their will on us a little bit and took us out of rhythm. But early in that third quarter and for much of that first quarter, I thought we did a pretty good job of doing what we wanted to do. That's a good team, and against a good team, you can't afford to have self-inflicted wounds throughout a game, and especially when they shoot 56% from three, it's going to be a long night.
Coach, the bench was the bright spot for tonight for you guys, 41 points. So how do you kind of make up, the performance that they put on and being able to lock in during times of adversity and, contribute to this game regardless of the score?
Yeah, I think that, every minute is valuable. And so, Courtney kind of spoke to it about leaving the starters in late and trying to, develop more of a rhythm with them as well. But just specifically speaking to the bench, it's those are valuable minutes to see their cohesiveness as well and to continue to develop trust within each other and trust within our staff. And so, I thought they played well for a good portion of their minutes. And now it's just about how we're able to kind of mix them in with our first group and just seeing, what rotations work as we move forward.
You brought Haley Van Lith in the game much earlier than the first game against the Fever. What led to that decision today?
Yeah, I think just giving us another ball handling threat and getting Rachel off the ball a little bit more so she can, be more efficient at doing what she does, and that's shoot the ball. And so having someone else that can handle and get downhill and kind of create for others. And I thought she did a really good job of leading her unit while she was in there and got some minutes with a couple of the starters as well. And so I was really pleased from Haley's effort tonight.
Last few, we'll go second row on your left.
Hi, Coach. You mentioned before the game that two qualities of a championship-winning team are toughness and minimizing mistakes. What do you think today tells you about how close or how far away you are from being where you want to be as a team?
Yeah, I think that 3 weeks and 2 games in together, it's tough to be a championship caliber team. I think that for us, it's always been about creating those standards, and so it's something that we build towards. And I talk all the time to our team about not playing to a score, but playing to a standard of who we want to be, and that's how we gauge our success in the short term anyway. And so we want to play consistent sky basketball for 40 minutes game to game, and so we don't want to look ahead. We want to deal with the present and learn from our past and continue pushing.
We'll stay second row on your left, and then we'll close out with Zachary and Alyssa.
Yeah, Rachel obviously taking a lot of threes, took 7 this game, 6 last game. How important is she to this kind of offensive scheme that you're trying to put together, and what adjustments need to be made to get the ball into her hands and get some open looks for her earlier in the game?
Yeah, I think that her skill set, her greatest skill is shooting the ball, and so we want to put her in positions to be able to do that. But that's also why we have Kia and Beck and added those players to our team as well, and Ariel as well. So the ability to shoot helps our spacing, but at the same time, I think I got to be a little bit better at getting the ball into our post players as well and letting our shooters feed off of them too. And so, we'll continue to look at that moving forward.
Zachary, front row on your left.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned Camila earlier. She obviously battled it out as best she could against JJ, scoring 6 points, grabbed a couple boards. Just wondering what your assessment was of her, since obviously she's one of those players that is developing and blossoming into more of an elite talent going up against somebody like JJ.
Yeah, I thought she had solid minutes at times. I think that, we talk a lot about the assertiveness there, and for me, I got to be more intentional about getting her looks down there, easier looks down there. And then from Camilla's perspective, I think that she's got to continue to impose her will on the defense as well, because she's a load down there, and she can be extremely effective and cause a lot of attention to create other opportunities for our shooters and for other players on the floor with her. And so, we'll continue to try to exploit that.
We'll close out with Alyssa, front row on your right.
Hey, Coach. How do you think you can get Ariel more involved into the offense?
Ariel? Yeah, I think that Ariel is versatile. She's someone that can play off the dribble and off the catch, and so I think that she's someone that we got to continue to find ways to space the floor to allow her to operate in space and not tight spaces. And so, again, we'll continue to look at areas to be able to do that.